So basically, today we're going to talk about limiting factors in an ecosystem. All right, so there are various things that affect the survival and the health of a population. A limiting factor, so if you think of something that causes you to limit, a limiting factor can be biotic, a living thing, or abiotic, a non-living thing, all right, that prevents a population from growing larger. All right, these factors, again, can be either living, biotic factors, or abiotic factors. So biotic factors would be competitors because they're competing for the same thing, and that's the reason that population is not growing larger. Predators, too many predators eating up a particular population. Food or population density, like too many of the same organisms. The abiotic factors can be like the temperature, the pH level, the humidity, wind speed, sunlight intensity, nutrients, or just the amount of oxygen that's available. All right, we're going to go ahead and watch this video about limiting factors and population growth.
Seriously, it's so hot outside.
I'm sweating just sitting here.
I'll go get us some water. Ah!
What?
Ew, ew, spider, kill it, ew!
Mia, you're afraid of spiders?
Yes, I am. Just get it. Ew, RJ, get it!
I'm not killing it. We need spiders. They help keep things balanced.
What? We need spiders?
Definitely. Spiders help control the population of bugs like mosquitoes. Spiders are a limiting factor, a living or non-living thing that helps control the growth of a population and an ecosystem. Food, water, and sunlight are limiting factors too. Since mosquitoes are part of the spider's food chain, the spider helps balance the population of mosquitoes by eating them.
So that ugly little spider affects population growth of the mosquitoes?
You got it, champ. Population growth of any organism is affected by tons of stuff. Weather, disease, pollution, natural disaster, a new species, hunting.
Oh, hunting.
Well, hunting's not a bad thing, but sometimes endangered animals like cheetahs and elephants are hunted. Those animals are endangered because their population is close to becoming extinct.
I love elephants. It's so sad that anyone would want to hunt them when they're endangered.
I know. All sorts of species are endangered. Fish, insects, birds, plants, and whether it's a small organism like a spider or something cool like an elephant, every species plays a role in a balanced ecosystem. If one dies out, the entire food web of an ecosystem is disrupted.
I guess I just never thought species like spiders and mosquitoes really counted. But yeah, if we kill all the spiders or they die of disease or something, they'll be missing from the food chain. Think of all the bugs that won't be eaten.
Yeah, let's hope spiders never become extinct.
Extinct means a species has died out completely, right?
Yes. Can you imagine that?
No way. It's sad.
Well, some species aren't endangered or extinct yet, but they are threatened, like polar bears and manta rays. That means their population is close to becoming endangered.
Can we do anything to help them?
Yeah. When a species is threatened, there's still time for its population to grow. We can help it grow through conservation.
So there are a lot of ways humans can help keep nature in balance.
See? By letting the spider live, I was doing my part to keep balance.
Yeah, I guess you were. I never knew populations could be affected by so many different things, even the life and death of a spider.
That's right. Like I said before, every species, small or large, has a role to play in the balance of an ecosystem.
Even if just one species dies out, the entire food web of that species' ecosystem will be affected.
So it's partially up to us as humans to help keep the balance in nature. That can mean letting a little spider live.
Or protecting an endangered species on wildlife preserves or in zoos. Okay, I feel better now. Sorry, Spidey.
I would feel better if I had some water.
Oops, I almost forgot. 2 glasses of ice-cold agua coming right up.
Hurry, before I become extinct.
All right, so we just went over limiting factors, which is a living or non-living thing that helps control the population growth of an ecosystem. right? So things that can be limiting factors would be low temperatures in the Arctic can restrict growth of trees. Cardinals have to compete with each other for nesting spots in a tree. A reduced population of mouse causes many owls that feed on them to move from one area to another area. All right, consider an ecosystem. So this is a scenario. Consider an ecosystem. This ecosystem has enough space, shelter, water to support 20 rabbits. But then it only has food for 10 rabbits. Right now, there are 15 rabbits living there. So limiting factor. What is the limiting factor of the rabbit's ecosystem? Food would be a limiting factor. What could have caused the food to be a limiting factor? The competition amongst the rabbits. Remember, there are 15 and there's only enough food for 10. What will likely happen to the rabbit population as a result of this food limiting factor? The population will shrink because there's not enough food to support that population. Right? All right, so let's go ahead and look at this scenario right here. All right, and we're going to use the arrows to help us. So basically, this is a food chain of plants or producers, and here's a herbivore, a primary consumer, which is the mouse, and then you've got a secondary consumer, which is basically this hawk over here. So we're going to use the arrows to help us see what's going to happen to the population if one of these were a limiting factor. So if we didn't have enough of the plants or the vegetable, what would happen to the population of the mouse? It would reduce because they don't have enough food. And then when the population of the mouse decreases or goes down, so will the population of the bird. All right. Now, so then let's look at another scenario. So we've got the mouse. If the population of the mouse, if the mouse was a limiting factor and we didn't have enough mouse, what would happen to the population of the plants or the producers? It would increase. Why? Because you don't have enough mice actually eating up those producers. But then when you have a limited number of mice, what would happen to the population of the birds? It would decrease. All right, so this is just explaining the effect of a limiting factor on the population. All right, and that right there concludes our lesson for today.